Hey, it's really me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. And this is Tuned in Tarot, and we are about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our outside world, in our interactions with one another, and if we want to see changes in our environment, we have to change ourselves. Okay, and we're doing today the release and rebuild spread that I designed, the Empress and Emperor spread. So balancing out these two aspects of self. Um, any announcements? Oh well, I was a little bit late getting started because I'm doing promo for Pearl in the Prayers single, which comes out 2 weeks from today. You can see all of that when you follow me at Pearl and the Prayers on Instagram. I'm also over there on Tuned in Tarot, and I do a live reading on Sundays with Grace Strega, exclusively from Tuned in Tarot's Instagram. So make sure you're following me over there to get all of the readings that you enjoy so much. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna start with the Empress, ladies first, and also releasing and then rebuilding. So the divine feminine side of self, we're gonna get the general energy. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my spread here because I've forgotten it. Okay, oh, that's right. So, here's the general energy for divine feminine. So relatable because what I just said, I was like busy working. Here she is, busy working on her craft. Busy. And this Three of Pentacles energy in her heart space, because remember, for these spreads, we do head and heart at the same time. I hate how washed out this camera is because these cards are beautiful. And this is like the worst camera. All right, I'm going to stop complaining. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm like in a very weird mood. My son's coming tomorrow as long as my ex-husband puts him on the plane. Please say a prayer about that because my ex-husband is a real pain in the ass. So, hopefully, my son will get on the plane tomorrow and he will come and arrive here safely and then stay with me forever. That's my dream. Okay, so the general energy is this Three of Pentacles in the heart space, but it's in reverse. And for me, it's interesting because normally I would say like, oh, it's in reverse, and so it's kind of like a solo energy. But actually, in this deck, which I chose to use today, the Prisma Visions Tarot, which is like a blast from the past. I used this all the time last summer because I had like 2 decks, and now I have like 18. Ooh, I need more though. Send me more. There's an Amazon wish list somewhere. I think I forgot to put it in there yet, but it'll get in there. Okay. Anyway, it's gonna be a stupid reading, I can tell, because I'm just stupid. There's only one person on this card. Normally there's 2 for the Three of Pentacles, at least 2. And there's like the cleric, the spiritual, and then like the material, like the craftsman. But here we just see one individual, and they've been building this wall, actually. This is the foundation for their sanctuary. So the general energy surrounding the release that's going on right now is, I think divine feminine is working to release her solo energy of having built her sanctuary by herself and then being kind of isolated there. She wants to be doing this with someone else, in partnership, in collaboration. It's like she spent all this time and she has a lot to show for this solo work that she's done, but there's this urging in her heart space to now be able to actually reach this culmination. She wants to do this collaboratively. So the hidden assistance, which is at the bottom of the deck for us, is the Lovers upright, which is so great to see for feminine, and the Emperor also. So what will help divine feminine, this hidden assistance, is the Emperor side of the spread over here, when we get over here to this next part. And so paying really close attention to how to rebuild from the Emperor side is going to help her a lot. That's the first message I'm getting. Number one, there could be a masculine that might help her in this partnership or collaboration. This could also be that she's been working to come into union, to actually be in a relationship, and not just about her work. But I think it is everything. I think it's everything. Um, all aspects of self manifesting finally in the physical and having the experience of manifestation, a shared experience. So this is her hidden assistance. The divine masculine himself is her hidden assistance. Okay, the first position is, what past experience do I need to release? Hmm. In the headspace, we're getting the Ace of Pentacles. We're using the Mystic Mondays deck, by the way, in the headspace. And in the heart space, we're getting the Justice card in reverse. Such an interesting. I love I love that I have a lot of decks, because then I choose different ones and I just kind of go with my intuition on which ones I want, or my aesthetics, because I'm like, oh, that one will look super cute with this one. And that determines the imagery that I see. And then it's so interesting because there's a lot of imagery we could have got, right? I mean, I have so many decks and there are so many depictions of both the Ace of Pentacles and Justice. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is often depicted as an arm reaching out with a hand, like so. But Justice is frequently an individual sitting on a throne. And it's usually like a feminine sort of an energy, and there's a blindfold and there's scales, etc. But not in Prisma Visions. In Prisma Visions, we have like almost the same two cards. It's kind of a weird coincidence, isn't it? One might think. In this Justice card, there's a hand reaching for this athame, which is a spiritual tool, and severing this connection here. And there's actually a snake that's biting this hand that's about to sever this connection. So, Divine Feminine must release this, probably a karmic partner. And it's maybe not even been a one that she has had, but it's like the injustices that occurred in that past relationship. It could be an offer that she had accepted in the past. And it just resulted in like a snake like energy that was biting the hand, right? Controlling, manipulating, and it caused her to. This could also be a karmic experience that she had, because she may have engaged in something that caused damage to another contract, another soul contract that she had or that someone else had. There's also that potential too. But she needs to release any of the fears and anxieties, the shame associated with this past connection. Also, if she has been waiting for some kind of an offer, any of the and like she's seen it offered before and then taken away, because I see also with this positioning the fact that this is this hand that's reaching out and then this hand that's taking it away. Having to release the fears and anxieties about that happening again. What can I do right now to soothe myself? In the headspace, we're getting the world. And I thought this is so funny because this card actually came out when the Tupac song Fuck the World came out today. And I was laughing. And there were 4 songs that played during today's shuffle. I listed them all in my Tuned in Tarot Instagram. If you follow me there and watch my stories, you can tell when I'm going to go live, because I usually post within a few minutes the end of the shuffle, and I'll list the songs now. That's how I'm doing it now. So during her spread, when this card came out, that song was on. And the next card that's coming up in the heart space is the Four of Cups. Um, it is in reverse. I'm trying to get it to be clear for you to see. So in this particular image, there's one cup that's spilled in front of the individual. Behind the individual, there is another cup spilled and two cups in the background there. So that's interesting. It's like um, a third party energy that has passed away, like some kind of a loss there. But this individual being focused on it, and they look pretty. I wish you could see them. It's annoying. They look sad. They look dejected, like they're in despair. Um, there are leaves that have fallen on the ground. It does look like fall in the image. There's water in front of them, there's air behind, and then they're very much a part of the ground. So the Four of Cups is like meditation, connecting with nature, grounding. It can be about being stuck in fantasy. Um, but this particular image with these two cups behind, this is much more like a Five of Cups feeling, but it's in the Four of Cups, which is interesting. Um, so a sense that not looking at the spilled cups or not worrying so much about the spilled cups and releasing that past energy, and also just kind of being like allowing this cycle to complete, like allowing this to truly end, this fixation on the past or what you have lost or whatever it is that you keep thinking won't allow you to have this future moment. It's like it's almost the dregs too. It's like it's not even a strong feeling anymore that you're not going to get it, but the very last dregs of it need to be drained from these cups. And the two cups, remember the hidden assistance, this lover's energy, this and if this is hidden assistance, it's also just the ability to have love, like to be in that alignment, in that balanced alignment in self. But soothing the self, just allowing this to ground, ending these cycles, and just being like, fuck the world, man. Like, just allow it to happen. All right. What can I expect to encounter as I make space for new energy? Oh, this is so nice. Completion. We're getting the 10 of Wands in reverse, and we're getting the 6 of Pentacles upright. So the 10 of Wands in reverse for me is that's completion. It's about communication, putting down burdens. Um, but this is also, when I say it like this, is about delegating and not having to do something on your own. So I see you finally being able to enjoy collaboration, right? No longer having that feeling of solo work, but actually being collaborative, receiving a return on your investment and putting in as much as you're getting out, like giving and receiving equally, which is a really lovely thing to make space for. Um, what behaviors have gotten in my way? Oh my God. We're getting the Three of Pentacles again, but this time it's upright and very abstracted in the headspace. And then we're getting the Tower upright and in this gorgeous Prisma visions where this house is, it looks fine, right? It's not on fire, it's not burning. There's no lightning actually even happening in this image. Instead, what we're seeing is that when that lightning that we know is inherent in the tower, the divine intervention of the tower, when this lightning strikes this tree, this this will be the thing that will pull all of this into this emotion, right? This cliff will no longer be able to withstand it. So there's this imminent Tower moment present in this card. And then this Three of Pentacles. So what behaviors have gotten in my way? I would say, so the Three of Pentacles, I think for me, it's a fixation on material manifestation and this fear of imminent doom and demise. So it's like, because you've gotten offers in the past and experienced some kind of something that's unfair or an injustice, or or you're awaiting some kind of justice or something, you have this fear that what will actually manifest in 3D is like your worst fears, that this safety, this home that you have will be lost. I think another behavior that has held you back as I'm looking at this is sorry, I'm just trying to organize these so they make sense. I think it's also that you have a tendency to be destabilized, to not have been building a stable foundation. But we know that's a past behavior because you're at the Eight of Pentacles here. And this Three of Pentacles in reverse. So you're kind of leaving behind this, maybe this is like, because this is the work that you do when you're starting out. It's kind of like working for someone else also. But this precariousness of never being able to trust in your own work. There's some aspect of that in this message. What can I do now to avoid that? So this could be like being afraid. Okay, the example that's popping into my mind is I was just talking to my sister, who has been she had been working for a company for 6 years before COVID, and then lost her job from that. And she's working to build her like Reiki and tarot business, but in the meantime, she's had to rely on unemployment, and it's ending soon. And there's a feeling of imminent doom there. That's like, I don't know if I've built a strong enough foundation to support what it is that I want to do, to this safety, this shelter, whatever. So a fear that is going to end and that you're not going to have any support. So what can I do now to avoid this? Oh, wow. Okay. The Hierophant in reverse. This is so poignant also because we're getting look at, this is a two-dimensional pyramid, and this one is a three-dimensional pyramid. I like that. Countering energy there. And then the Fool in reverse. So this is being too cautious about taking leaps and taking risks. And this is limiting beliefs. So releasing these limiting beliefs, because the Hierophant is about learning lessons, higher level relationships, higher authorities, rigid belief systems. It can be about prayer, faith, trust. So having faith, really, really having faith. But the thing that I'm getting the most is releasing these limiting beliefs that are trying to convince you that you have to be cautious about going forward into this manifestation. If you release these fears about what has gone wrong in the past, whenever you've tried to build your wealth or prosperity, or, accept a relationship, if something is like anything regarding something that you're accepting abundance from. Releasing these fears and anxieties associated with that past energy is really going to help you to avoid this feeling of having to go back to like a drudgery type of a job in order to have stability. A couple of times it's crossed my mind, where I'm like, fuck, am I like, because I'm paying a lot for this record. I'm like, am I going to have to get another like quote unquote regular job? And every time I think that, I'm like, no, I have enough stability of my own now. But it's just a little bit of that fear, a little bit of that doubt. Same thing with my DM. Like, is this really going to happen? I can feel it, but at the same time, there's just like a little bit of doubt, and it's the universe is like, just let that go. Just take that leap. Go ahead and take that leap. Stop being cautious. You're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself by not letting yourself just be fully in there. Remember, your hidden assistance is love. It's the manifestation into reality itself. It's this, determination, ambition, foundation, stability, power. What is growing within me or in this connection as I move on and release this past energy? Wow, okay. We're getting the Knight of Swords in reverse in the headspace and the Eight of Wands upright in the heart space. So, my feeling is um, what's growing within you is the ability to release recklessness, the tendency to be reckless, and not have strategy or not feel like you have a strategy when there's a lot of motion, a lot of forward motion. Um, it can also be about communication, about being able to have more honest communication, releasing the 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 holding back, the way that you might hold back from fully expressing or communicating. Um, Also, if you've been cutting someone out or blocking someone or being defensive against someone, um, it can be about that as well. So, but it's I really feel that it's more about when there's a lot of motion, being able to go with the flow, because the Knight of Swords upright is really fast moving and swift moving. If there's shadow at all, it's that there can be recklessness involved. Um, like if there's a melee, everyone's everyone doesn't make it, kind of thing. Like really, really cutting through. This is being able to go with the flow more like a Knight of Cups versus a Knight of Swords, and always having to see. This can be also about spying and seeing and having to look, not having to see messages, not having to see it to believe it, to feel it, to have it be real for you. All right, let's go help the Emperor rebuild. We're going to look first at the general energy and then the hidden assistance that Divine Masculine has. So, here we go. Here's what the Divine Masculine is rebuilding. We've got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Can't make that up. And Judgment upright. So, if we're just going to, it looks like there's been a legal judgment regarding a past relationship. There could be custody stuff, there could be just like just financial things sorted out. So trying to rebuild this 10 of Pentacles now after some kind of a legal judgment. There's also judgment is about reconciliation and rebirth. um, so it can be also about the reconciliation aspect, about wanting to materialize a family, like the material fulfillment with a past energy could also be there as well. But I really feel like the general energy is rebuilding after some kind of a legal judgment involving finances, involving material wealth and abundance. The hidden assistance that Divine Masculine has is really interesting. In the headspace, it's the Two of Wands in reverse, which of course when we talk about the twin flame card, and I think it's interesting because both the masculine and feminine energies, the hidden assistance is this partnership energy, this two aspects, the balancing aspect. And then the Empress in reverse, which, can I make it up? The hidden assistance is the Emperor for Divine Feminine. The reversal on this for me has to do with the fact that this legal judgment is most likely about releasing a another energy. So it's most likely a feminine energy that has been released. Um, the powerful traits that come from this Empress overprotectiveness, overbearingness kind of stuff when we're in the shadow, it's actually saying that divine masculine's tendency to be overprotective and a little bit overbearing, it's actually helped this journey. It's helped bring about his wish fulfillment, which was to be able to provide a 10 of Pentacles for divine feminine energy, so that they could share in that partnership together. Also, the plans that he has made, the things he made, the plans he made, kind of being able to throw them out and not have to have things go exactly as he expected. That is a hidden assistance for him too, to just understand that he's asked and it's given. And a lot of the times the plans we make, they are not accounting for the true essence of what we desire. So really understanding that and releasing that need to control the outcome and be so overprotective and overbearing over the plans for how this is going to happen, that he can finally see this situation reversed and like turn it all around. So, what past experience challenges me in this rebuilding process? Oh my God. Okay. I just love this job. All right. The Queen of Wands in reverse and the Two of Cups. So, there's two meanings for me here. The first is what we just looked at with that Empress in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the legal judgment. There was a past relationship here that challenges him because, first of all, it may have been a soul contract of some kind, a soulmate. And so it's not easy to let that energy go, even if that energy is no longer serving him or whatever. So it's just the painful aspects of releasing someone that you have loved. And then there's, I think also, and this message might be more, so that message might be for some. This message might also be that there has been a very angry feminine energy who has tried to interfere with divine masculine's ability to finally come into that physical manifestation with divine feminine energy. So this is challenging him. He wants to have this, and there is a very angry individual. It can be a maternal energy. It can be a past partner. It could be even probably like just any sort of third party, like a children that are unhappy. But there's definitely there's a challenge here with just an unhappy divine feminine. And also, I think for this divine feminine, I think that he fears that this long wait that they have endured here might have pissed off the divine feminine enough that now it's going to be really difficult for him to rebuild because of this reconciliation, having to ask for forgiveness. His concern is like, will she give it to me? So there's like all those different layers I could see in the cards. Let's see. The second placement is, what can I do right now to build my confidence? This is the Lovers in reverse and the Hanged Man. So there's more mirroring. And okay. So getting perspective. The Hanged Man is about suspending oneself so that you can see the world from a different perspective. It's about surrendering completely to the divine as well in order to create stability. We see this crossed position, which is actually a very important message. And if we turn it this way, it becomes a 4. So it's about creating stability through gaining perspective. And the perspective that needs to be gained is on this lover's energy in reverse. So, a couple layers there. Number one, reflecting that the past experience is not the present experience. The kind of thing, kind of like Divine Feminine has to tell herself, right? This isn't what has happened in the past, right? Perspective. This was another relationship, another person, another job, another thing, right? This that we're trying to come into fulfillment now is different. Also, this is protected. And for some in the collective, the divine masculine needs to release any third party energy, any like options that are still there, any like, going through the phone and honestly like unfollowing. Like, imagine you're sitting next to your wife and you're looking at your Instagram. If there's anyone on there that you would be looking at and feel a little bit uncomfortable about, that needs to be released. That needs to be released. No more little, oh, just this. Nope. That energy needs to go, because that is a protective energy. That's about our ego feeling like, oh, someone's paying attention to me, or there's others I can pay attention to. Like, that is difficult for this masculine. There's some aspect of his ego that is satisfied by that attention, and he has to release every last bit of it so that there's not any kind of, and it's really about the fear. There's fear, that's why it's there. It's not like, oh, you can't ever look at anyone else. I think that's crazy. Everybody's going to admire everybody and have crushes, and that's so normal. But there's a funky feeling I'm getting there. If you can't turn your phone to your partner and be like, look at this, like, what? Like, am I right? And be like, ooh, like, yes, like, okay. If you can't both appreciate someone, then you're doing it you're coming from a different place, right? And divine masculine really needs perspective. He will feel more confident about himself and about the approaching the divine feminine if he fully relinquishes any of those temptations or past lovers that could be in the picture, especially if there's this one that is potentially challenging. It's like they need to go. That energy needs to go. All right. What possible future challenges could arise? I can't believe it's 8:44 when I looked at 33 minutes when I looked at the clock. Like, why? Okay. Jesus Christ. Judgment in the headspace and the Three of Pentacles in the heart earth space, which is exactly where divine feminine is feeling craziness. That means there were 3 incidents of the Three of Pentacles, which is 333, which is unity. It's also about reunion and the 3D. Okay, cool. So, what challenges might divine masculine have? Honestly, he's probably going to experience some judgment from those around him. There's going to be some external criticism, judgment regarding his decisions and his choices that will affect his work or his career potentially. And it's not necessarily, I'm not getting a sense that it's going to be a bad thing. Like, it's going to be like destroy his work or his career. Nothing like that. It's just, it's going to be challenging. There's going to have to be questions answered. There's going to have to be statements made. There's going to have to be, it's not something that's completely comfortable. And there will be judgments about his choices, period. So that is something that he has to keep in mind, that he's going to have to manage his feelings regarding this energy and manage his fears. What past behaviors have destabilized me? Now, we got extra card in this one for some reason, so. In the headspace, we've got the 10 off fucking wands. Where was that? Oh my God. It's so nuts. There's so much union in this spread. Holy shit. The 10 of wands. In the heart space, we're getting the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the King of Wands. So, these are the past behaviors that have destabilized you. First of all, this 10 of Wands, it's like not communicating, withholding communication because you feel this burden, this responsibility to take on whatever it is that you have these fears about all by yourself. So this carrying a heavy load that should be shared by yourself, feeling like you have to, and withholding that information from those that would be a part of this collaboration, like that 3 of Pentacles over on Divine Feminine side. This has destabilized you. Not putting down these burdens and responsibilities, clinging to them. There's a martyr complex here. Like, you know, my mother would complain about something and then be like, but why didn't you just ask for help? We would have helped you. So you literally did that to yourself. That's that kind of energy. My mom's a Virgo, if that helps anybody kind of get a sense of what this is like in terms of martyr syndrome. And 2As. In the heart space, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the King of Wands. And so this is very interesting to me because it's like you have taken your fate into your own hands. Like the King of Wands can be an asshole. He's a huge ego, like big ego. And he feels like he can do it on his own and he doesn't need any help. And like, you know, maybe the universe has plans, but like I can evade those plans. I can make shit happen. I can just, you know, use my passion alone. There's also this wand here, the sexual energy that comes from this King of Wands too, which is like the passion. And resisting fate. So those are the things that destabilize divine masculine. What can I do now to avoid this and stabilize? Baffling. Okay. Death in reverse and strength in reverse. So for me, this is like stop resisting killing the ego. I keep hearing this, killing the ego, kill the ego death, the ego dying. And I'm thinking, I feel like there's a lot of readers who talk about that and don't explain it at all. They're like, the ego's dying and you have to kill the ego. And you're like, okay, what the fuck does that even mean? Well, if one of the challenges that's coming up for you is this concern about external validation or losing it, then that's a part of the ego that is very attached. It feels, it identifies with how other people perceive it. It sees itself through other people's eyes instead of having a strong sense of self coming from a place of authenticity, which comes from deep introspection and honestly years of that. If you're very young and you're on this journey, hello, we're probably going to be good friends. You're probably going to be watching these readings for a long time because it's a long process of killing the ego. It requires releasing fears and anxieties associated with anything external, all of our internal world, that alignment with source. I don't know how it expresses for you, but It's a feeling that I have when I'm in alignment. Anything that's outside of that is the ego's perception of the illusion of separation. So, what will help divine masculine is to continue working on this ego death, to believe in his strength, believe in his power to transform himself, and tap into that feminine energy inside of himself that will provide that strength that he needs to control that beast that has been imbalanced. What future prospects do I have to look forward to once I rebuild and stabilize? Oof. Well, this is good. The Ten of Swords in reverse. This is an end to separation. The swords and in this desire that we have are finally coming out. We're finally coming unstuck. And then we're getting the Two of Swords upright. But however, you're being told you then have to await a decision. There will be a bit of a standstill once you end the separation, because you will have to await the feminine's response, right? That's your fear. This is your fear. One of the layers that we found here in the past experiences. You're not sure how divine feminine's going to take it. But the separation will be over and she will be able to make a choice, right? Oh, I feel your like terror of that moment because of your fear of rejection, which is why you have to kill the ego. If she rejects you, that is the best thing that can happen for you. You just have to believe in that. All right, let's look at the oracles and help you both out. We did get a few extra ones today. Divine Feminine, looks like you're in the light for a lot of things. You're getting a lot of credit here. You're in the light attributes of the healer, which is a passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and the ability to transform pain into healing. This is very, 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 very powerful for me because I have been experiencing a lot of healing and I am taking care of myself, and I feel very affirmed in that by this card. You're also getting the student energy, which is humility and devotion to knowledge and an openness to lifelong learning. So you're being humble. You're saying, I don't know all the answers and I'm open to learning them and I want to change. I want to transform. I really want to become the best version of myself. And then we're getting the Queen. You're in the light attributes of the Queen also, which is radiating the regal feminine and using your benevolent authority to protect others. I'm so proud of all of my feminines right now, because that is very much the ego is in control. It's like you have the ability of the healer, but you have the humility of the student, and then the benevolent authority of the regal feminine in your queen energy. That's a trifecta. And your guardian, no big. It's just God. And love. And look, what was your hidden assistance? Love. And I keep getting this message so strongly. My energetic counterpart just telling me just love and just love me. And it's going to work out if you just be in that place. You just have to believe in that power, that transformative power of just coming from a place that's heart-centered. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. And because of that commitment that you have, you're in this light. Like, this is so much light here. Honestly, this is the best spread for Divine Feminine ever. The spirit guide energy, look at this. This is the reflective energy, the twin energy. You are each other's spirit guides. Came to me when this card came out as a unity card for both of you a bit ago. And I'm really seeing it for you. Just really, you are being guided. You are being very, very guided right now. And then we got this Four of Cups in reverse for you, and we're getting this card, which is my Four of Cups card from the Moonology deck 100, because it says balance, spirituality, and practicality. So, and this is what would help soothe you right now. So, what would help soothe you is to come out of the clouds a little bit, babes. You're very high vibrating right now, super high vibrating. Bring that energy into the real world. Bring that energy and ground it into the real world. Complete this cycle by continuing to do these practical behaviors, taking care of yourself, the mind and spirit, body, mind, and spirit that you're taking care of, that you're nurturing. Continue to do that. That is helping to ground your desires, what has been like fantasies, into reality. Oh, awakening. And there's judgment all over this spread. This is energetic upgrades, a new way of being, an integration. Damn, Divine Feminine, you're on a fucking roll. And we're rounding it out with the koi fish spirit. There's always enough, which is this sense that while you might not yet see in your surroundings how this abundance is very available to you, remember that fear that, that there might be this instability if you don't like hunker down into the real world. Well, balancing practicality and spirituality does not mean we throw spirituality away so we can work for someone else so we can have enough money. It's not what it means. It means that we take our spiritual ideals and we work hard on them so that we can see the abundance come from that reality, which is that our passions will create much more abundance than slave mentality. So understand, appreciate everything around you, and don't be deceived. It might not look like you have a lot of room to grow, but you absolutely do. Divine Masculine, let's check you out right now. All right. You're in the light attributes of the father energy. This is the talent for creating and supporting life and being a positive guiding light within a tribal unit. And you've released dictatorial control and abuse of authority. That's that hidden assistance. You've released that reflective energy because you were dictatorially controlling. There was someone in the mix who was giving that back to you, and you've released that. And now you are in this really lovely light energy of the fathering, of father spirit. All right, then we're getting healthful eating. Here's my favorite, Archangel Saint Raphael. And it's in reverse, and so I do think Divine Masculine that you've been indulging a bit lately. 'Tis the season for you, I think. And it's time to start really being more mindful, really taking care of the vessel. Divine Feminine's on it, understanding that body, mind, and spirit, all three of those things together, have to be functioning in a healthy way for you to be able to maintain this power. This is your guardian angel that's really supporting you with this faith energy, really helping you to have faith and look deeper. So don't be deceived by anything that's happening at a surface level. If you're seeing Divine Feminine in social media because you're not in communication, don't make assumptions about what you're seeing on the surface level. Look deeper. Look within yourself to be able to find the true answers and have faith. Have faith in what it is that you desire. Take care of yourself. That's a big one. Maybe stop with the indulging. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. Now, you had judgment everywhere all over your side of the spread, and you're being told that if people are judging you for whatever it is, the choices that you're making, whatever it is, just know that those are just cries for help. Number one, for those people, because it's about them, but for something inside of yourself that's still judging yourself, because those judgments will fade away as you don't carry those. Like, there'll always be people that'll envy you, or but that won't trigger you. What triggers you is when there's people that you respect and admire, and you fear their judgment. But that's because you're still judging yourself for your actions. So that judgment that's here, that needs to be forgiveness of the self. Understanding that this was this way because it was the best that you could do. When I was going through my healing last week, uh, and dealing with a childhood sexual assault, I was apologizing to my child self profusely. I'm sorry for not paying attention to you. I'm sorry for making you keep this secret. I'm sorry for making you hide. I'm sorry that no one was protecting you. I'm sorry that you felt you couldn't tell anyone. Like, whatever I was feeling, I was crying, and I was telling myself, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And when I would explain this to a couple of friends who I was able to communicate what I was going through, they would say, "Oh, well, you didn't have any other choice." And I would say, "Oh, I know that. I know that." But my child self doesn't. A child, it's black and white. So if you tell them, "I'm sorry, I couldn't do that, but I couldn't because of this," it doesn't matter. All that needs to happen is the apology, is the forgiveness. It doesn't matter why you made the child inside of you not speak. It doesn't matter that it was to protect her or to save her. You asked her to do something that was painful for a long time. So you just have to say, "I'm sorry for that." There are no excuses that need to follow the "I'm sorry." Just, "I'm sorry. It was my fault. What can I do to make it up to you? Please forgive me." Do you know what a child requires? Like a really small child, when you say, "What can I do to make it up to you?" A hug and an ice cream cone. Like, it's also black and white in terms of forgiveness. And a child loves unconditionally. So you have to forgive yourself. There was nothing I could have done. I could not have told people what happened to me. I did exactly what I was told to do. So there's nothing I could have done. I didn't really do anything wrong, right? I can forgive myself. But I had to ask myself for forgiveness first. So do that work. You're getting this closure card in reverse. Closure is something we give ourselves, right? I gave myself closure in that experience I had last week. I will likely not, realistically, without miraculous intervention, it will be difficult for me to see real closure of any kind in the material with this particular incident. It happened. The statute of limitations, it's there's no way, right? So I have to give myself closure. And divine masculine, this energy, you have to do this for yourself. There's a part of you that thinks you're going to get it right. That Two of Wands in reverse, this need, this hidden assistance to throw out your plans. You think, if I just say this the right way, or if I just do this the right way, or if I buy the right thing, or if I provide the right amount of money, or the right home, or the right security, or if I can do something to control my fate, right? That destabilizing ability. If I can just get it right, then everything will be tied up with a bow, just like on the movies. But that won't happen. That won't happen. It will happen exactly as it's meant to, but it will not look like your plans because your plans are human and the divine plan is better. It's better for everyone. It you can't know exactly what everyone in the mix is asking for because you are in your ego. You only know what you're asking for. You can't know what they're asking for. You can make assumptions about what they're asking for and try to provide it. How does that work? Doesn't go that well, right? The divine knows exactly what each soul needs to feel complete in any given situation and when their completion will happen. And that doesn't happen on your schedule. It doesn't happen just because you want it to. You can't manifest for other people. The only person that you can truly manifest for is yourself. In your expansion and growth, your influence does permeate those around you. And changes inside of self cause those shifts in others around you. But ultimately, if they can't be on the same page with you, they can't be in your scene, man. So they won't be able to. And you have to let go that desire for you to be able to control all those elements so that you can bring closure to something that only comes from self. Show the world the real you. We want to see it. Everyone is waiting. We're like, we can't wait. We're excited. It's going to be amazing to see the real you, the authentic version of you, the part of you that isn't, putting up all these barriers to try to look and be a certain way so that you're not judged. We can't wait until you say, fuck the world. Fuck the world. And just be who you are. And finally, you're gonna kick yourself because the day after that happens, there's gonna be this multitude of people that are for it. And you were thinking the whole time that all that you would notice is the people that weren't. But you don't even notice them anymore because they aren't even in your vibration. Bye. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. Wow, divine masculine, you really got to do this, babes. I know you're trying. You're trying to rebuild from having done that. I do think you need to really keep this protection. There is some really unhappy energy here that is a potential challenge. So you need to cut off completely. There might have been this part of you with that closure card in reverse that thought like you could just, like I'll just wait a certain amount of time and then I'll be able to kind of smooth things over. And then I'll be like, so this is happening. And then that energy will be appeased. Like they'll be doing their own thing. They won't mind so much. And it's going to be great. And what you're finding out is that no, there's really not going to be any way of having that individual around you for the reasons I just said. Energetically, they can't keep up. And when that happens, if you keep trying to go where they are, you keep lowering yourself to their level every time. You are going back and lowering yourself to their level. I no longer communicate at all with my ex-husband. If I send, it's like text between himself and my son and sometimes even his ex-wife so that it's never like a single individual conversation. And it's like, this is when his plane is coming. This is when that is happening. I do not bother. I do not bother. I will not bother. Like it's just not going to happen. That is the only way at this point in time to navigate that particular relationship. You have to do the same thing. You have to just be like, no. Then you're getting again coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. And I'm going to read it because we're getting it again. And also, this is trickster energy, that sly energy, strategizing. Let's see. Do you find that you're being led on a strange detour in your life right now? Does it seem that what appears to be the next right action and the right choice, best situation, or fabulous relationship unexpectedly turns into the opposite or just disappears into thin air as if you've been tricked. Coyote Spirit's trickster energy is designed to bring you into situations to teach you lessons you have forgotten to learn. Perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success, a need to feel disappointment before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is coming up for you. Perhaps you are revisiting a pattern you forgot wasn't in alignment with the life you are intending to create. Being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in this moment. Coyote Spirit reminds you to laugh about the unexpected twists, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing your attachments to the form of your desires. Even when you suddenly find yourself on a detour, wondering when you will get back on track to manifesting what you desire, remember that Spirit has a plan and wants the best for you. Trust in divine order now. Coyote Spirit is a divine helper. No matter what seems to go astray, things are exactly as they are supposed to be. Trust and believe. Okay, let's look at the cards that are in union for the divine couple. Alrighty. You you guys, you're in the shadow attributes of the miser right now. You are hoarding money and emotions, and there's an obsessive fear of losing your wealth. Do I even need to talk to you about this energy and about how you need to just delight in sharing life's riches and trust in your entrepreneurial ability your creative ability to turn anything to gold? Do I need to remind you that you're so afraid to share this love because you're afraid of finding out that you were wrong? And just wait till you see the next fucking cards that are falling off, okay? Stop doing this. Stop being miserly. Start giving more to one another. You're afraid that if you give it to that person that they're going to take it away, and because of that you're not giving it, and then you're not getting what you want. It's so fucking frustrating, okay? But you're being supported here in a wise decision. So you are either about to make a decision and your guardian angel is going to support you in making a wise one, or you already have and you're being told this is a wise decision. Career, protected, growing, plentiful, abundant. And this is the both of you. And we started off the release spread with a feminine energy that's like, you know what? I want to work collaboratively. Well, it looks like if you do that, it's a really good idea, especially if you can do the next thing. Believe in the impossible. I didn't know this card was coming out today. And now my mood in the very beginning of the reading is just even more profound because I do believe in the impossible. That's why I'm here in Los Angeles. That's how I fucking got here. You need to keep doing that and trust that you have made a wise decision to involve one another in this partnership, and don't hoard anymore these emotions or feelings because you're afraid that something bad is going to happen. Just believe in this miracle that you want. You're getting starseed, what lights you up. And I also think this is about the cosmic aspects of the relationship, about the divine intervention, about the union of mind and body, mind, and spirit. Um, your wish fulfillment, healing, and taking the unconscious and manifesting it into reality. And we're getting one we don't usually get. Parrot spirit. We're getting the protection message. Watch your words. Are you aware of what you're saying to yourself and others? Parrot spirit shows up as a reminder to heed the words that flow from your mouth, your pen, and your keyboard. Be mindful of the beliefs you have internalized. Are they what you choose to believe? Are you communicating with integrity? Parrot Spirit wants you to listen to what you say and your motives for saying it. Right speech is called for now, which means you are called to reflect on the beliefs that have been parroted by people so often that you simply accepted them unquestioningly. Journal about what you truly believe and wish to see in the world and in your life. Write words affirming what you value. Speak them aloud, expressing gratitude for what is just coming into being. Your voice has power, and you can change the conversation in your heart and in the world around you. Parrots represent the law of praise. So, you are called to speak the truth and speak with love. You need to communicate. And when you're communicating with those around you, you need to communicate what you want to happen. You need to talk about what you want, not what you don't want. I often check myself. I ask myself, am I talking about what I want to happen? Like, I want my ex husband to put my son on the plane. He is going to because he loves his son and he wants his son to get to see his mother. Like, there's some part of him, deep, deep, deep down, that wants to fulfill my son's wishes, irregardless of my role in his life. Okay? That's the way that I should be talking about my son getting on the plane tomorrow safely and arriving here tomorrow safely. Tomorrow. So, that is an example. You have to be talking about the things that you want in a positive way. And in terms of the union for the both of you, if you're here for a love reading, it's when you're talking about your divine masculine to others, what are you saying? What are the words that you are saying? Alrighty, I'm going to pull some cards having pertaining. They don't want to come out of the box today. There we go. I think we got them all. These are the things that we should do just today that will help us continue to release and rebuild and come into alignment today. I will put the stuff in the description box below. I haven't done it yet. I usually do it before, but I forgot. So I'm going to try to remember to do that, even if it is when I am rewatching this later. But there's a link to pearlsprayers.com where you can find information about Tune and Tarot and about my music release that's happening on July 30th. There will be a single release event. It might be kind of a private party. I'm not sure yet. But if you really want to come and you're in Los Angeles, please DM me so that I can put you on a list of individuals because it might be a small event because it's my 40th birthday and we might make it a little more intimate. But there will be an event, so stay tuned for that. And I have new services available. If you want to learn how to read cards, I'm doing lessons not just on cards, but it's called Get Tuned In, and it's like following your intuition, listening to messages from music, the world around you, intuitive eating, all kinds of things like that. So if you're interested in that, check out the services on the booking site on my website, and you can see all the different options. And then if you don't see something there that is exactly what you want, just message me. We can probably come up with something that will work specifically for you. Okay. Let us help everybody. Divine Feminine, here's what you have to do. Well, I guess I should leave that like that. Today to come into alignment. Hang on, let me just see everything because I did the Lenormand deck today. Oh, wow. Okay, so we are getting the Grim Reaper in reverse, which says the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life, but it's in reverse. And then we are getting wedding rings, union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promises. We are getting Clover, and also the Six of Pentacles. And we are getting the Star in reverse, or the Six of Cups, because this is from a Lenormand deck, so there's slightly different interpretations here. So here's what I'm seeing. As we saw earlier in the spread, which I now have cards on top of, so let me get this. Okay, we saw earlier in the spread that you had some kind of a past legal contract, probably pertaining to a past marriage, that needs to be released. Either, you might still be in a contract, or if you're not in that contract anymore, it's like there might still be a soul contract. I was thinking about, when you make promises, you keep those promises until it's 9:22, I just saw on the clock, until you go in and sort of figure out inside of there exactly how to release yourself from that kind of a promise. So you might have sort of like a soul contract promise that needs to be worked through. Maybe you can do a meditation to help like unentangle, like cord cutting, something symbolic that will help you release any of that past attachment. This is the feminine side of self. So even if you're a masculine energy who on this side of the spread is trying to release a past energy, this would apply for you too. The feminine side of the self would benefit from an actual process of release, like an energetic release of some kind. So perform some kind of a cord cutting today. Clover is kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. It's a card of luck. It's very auspicious, and it's accompanied by that Six of Pentacles, which is like benevolence and generosity and reciprocation. So being very generous today and reciprocating. If you receive, some kind of communication, reciprocate back. And then the star energy and the Six of Hearts to me is like the Six of Cups. This is the reunion energy, this wish fulfillment, really having faith, really having hope, believing in this good fortune, believing in this union, the sacred union, the possibility for this. Once you have cut those cords with the past energy, you really will be able to have this fulfillment. And it's cosmic, and it is with some kind of a past energy. Divine Masculine. You are getting Cupid's arrow in reverse, which says, have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, or meeting, and hesitation. Okay. I'm honing in on hesitation here. We're also getting healing heart in reverse, which is healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. We are getting the anchor, which is amazing to get during a rebuilding spread because it's about stability. It's about anchoring. It's accompanied, however, by the Nine of Swords, which is the mind kind of worrying, but it can also be about its completion energy, about things coming to a completion. And then we are getting the Ace of Cups right here. It's the Gentleman card. It's the divine masculine energy, and it's like taking care of himself kind of a feeling. So what I'm getting is you have to stop hesitating, releasing that toxic energy. We talked about it all through the reading. There is a hesitation here to release this past energy. There is guilt. There is fear about the consequences of doing it, but you have to actually release it. It is toxic. And there's addictive energy there. And then this is how you will stabilize, which is what your reading is about. You will stabilize yourself by loving yourself. By standing firm, by anchoring yourself in your position, by stabilizing against these fears and anxieties and trusting and loving yourself and no longer hesitating. Cut this toxic energy out. If there's addiction here, that Saint Raphael, Archangel Raphael card was in its reverse. So if there is a physical addiction here, don't hesitate anymore, but actually end this behavior. Okay, the bottom of the deck for the both of you. Just curious. We've got heart with a key in reverse. This is welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together and perfect. And then we're getting the tower. Now, the tower is in the Lenormand deck is slightly different from how we see it in tarot. It's also accompanied by the 6 of Swords. So for me, this is moving on to a new, more stable relationship with the one and releasing any fear about this happening, any fears associated with this huge shift and huge change into the future. All right. And there's that anchor behind me right there from whenever it shows up in my reading. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today on Tuned In Tarot. Let's see what's coming. Oh, Sunday, we are going to have our reading with Grace Strega. It is probably going to be from her account. So if you missed the live reading, which usually happens sometime between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast time, sometime in there, just keep stay tuned to our stories to see the actual time. But if for some reason you miss it, the replay is available on Grace Strega's account. It will be available there after the reading on Sunday. So that is Sunday, and you can ask personal questions during that reading. We will pull cards for you. We did almost a 2-hour reading last week because we did get a lot of questions, but it's fun for us. We do enjoy that. So if you want to come and ask questions live, we will pull cards for you and do readings for you after we check into the divine masculine and divine feminine energy. All right. Again, today, 2 weeks from today, my solo single is coming out. It's Me, Babe. Please go Pearl in the Prayers on Instagram or pearlsprayers.com to see all those details. And I don't know. I think that's all I have for you today. I have a lot of cleaning to do and getting ready and turning this 1-bedroom into a 2-bedroom today. So wish me luck. Have the best day today. Take care.